Good morning. Good morning. It's a busy day at Hands to Paws. I am streaming. It's Claudia from Hands to Paws and What's Up Dog. That's one word, capital W, capital U, capital D, as in a dog named Wood. And I am streaming on StreamYard on two platforms. I am streaming on my personal page, which is going to become a coffee time page. Might not always be a morning coffee time page. Might be a when you get home from work and coffee time page. And What's Up Dog, where we talk dog. We talk all things dog. And we have been talking dog in the Summer Wells case because Summer Wells and her dog Lucky, who she couldn't say Lucky, so she called Yucky, was live last night at like 3 in the morning. So I sometimes have a problem sleeping, and my thoughts overtake my sleep, and I get up and I'll throw on YouTube. And don't you know that there's Candace Wells live on a show called Prayer Garden of America. And with who I now understand is her neighbor, Benny. So I am not a true crime person. You want to go to Michelle Walks, who is also of Michelle After Dark. And she is an expert in this case. So is Chris McDonough of The Interview Room, and several True Crime Exposed. Absolutely one of my favorites. You definitely want to be following them. They are educating and giving such awareness to issues, and so is this whole true crime community. However, they are engaging in a tremendous amount of drama. However, they are expressing their American rights and their freedom of speech. Cool, right? And sometimes, though they're attacking each other, they whoever does that only shows who they are, right? And everybody has a voice and an opinion, and YouTube gives us a forum in order to do that. As I learn YouTube behavior, lingo, vernacular, culture, and the rules of YouTube, which we do as we move forward in our journey. We do videos just on the culture of YouTube and the true crime community. However, no matter what they're doing, they're bringing focus to Summer Wells and awareness for missing persons. All right. So whether they're attacking each other or not, a friend of mine, we call it, the days of YouTube. Boy, if you like drama, you go get to know some of these people, and they are most certainly after each other. So, it's entertaining. And unfortunately, people like that kind of entertainment. So, and I'm engaged in, I'm like, we text each other. We're like, oh my God, did you just see? However, this is really about the dogs. And we have been asking that if you want to give any donations, we don't ask for any donations on this page. We're not monetized. We're going to state straight up front, because I watch the drama on YouTube, that we will be monetized. We're looking for 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of views. That is how you can then partner with YouTube to even be qualified to be monetized. There are people that are talking about this case that don't want to make any money. Good morning, Ren. They don't want to make any money off this case, and that's good for people. Good for them. I want to bring awareness for the dogs. There were 20 plus dogs on Summer Wells' property. She is a 5-year-old little girl that has made headline news and is our official Paw Patrol pack awareness lead. Because Summer, you are going to change. You're going to bring awareness, and everybody is looking for you, little girl. Everybody is looking for you. Everybody is watching out for your pack. Your brothers are safe, and you are going to help save other little children just like you, you're going to help save their lives. How about that? You became famous, my little one. You are famous. You are causing all sorts of controversy in YouTube. So apparently you have a new narrative being formed by Dawn Wells and Candace Wells. Those are the parents of Summer Wells. What are the theories? The theories are it is possible that Summer Wells has been being SA'd. You'll have to figure out what that abbreviation means because I can't say it. There is speculation that she has been trafficked. There are signs and symptoms of signs and symbols of that. So that is something that has True Crime Exposed is really bringing awareness to. And if that isn't happening in Summer's case, amen. But it is happening in other cases, so awareness cannot hurt. Summer had a puppy that she was named Lucky, that she couldn't say Lucky, so she called that puppy Yucky. Yucky was live last night. Candace Wells and Dawn Wells have been going live, and she was live on Prayer Garden of America, and I just found out that that's her neighbor, Benny. I don't know much about Benny. Brand new to Benny. The only thing I'd ever heard about Benny was Chris McDonough from the interview room tell him about himself. That's it. That's all I'd ever heard. And then people bashing each other back and forth. But half the time, I have to ask somebody who they're even talking about to know who they're bashing and why they're bashing, because they are absolutely after each other. And I know that has a lot to do with Betty Bullhorn, who has a coffee show. She's very consistent. She's up at the crack of dawn. Her coffee show, she, personally, I have no issue with Bullhorn, Betty, or any of this team. I'm actually an Olivia fan, and I don't always have to agree with them, right? I don't have to agree with them, but I have no issue with what they're doing, what they're saying, or what they're bringing to the table. In fact, in yesterday's coffee chat with Bullhorn Betty, and I'm not a part of any of their groups because I don't want to be involved in all this drama. I'm really trying to find out about the dogs. And bring awareness for little Miss Summer Wells. That's the only motivation here. And we're starting a YouTube, and this is interesting because I am a dog person of 38 years. So, and behavior being my game. That's my main game. So incredibly fascinating to me, and I adore children, and I believe we need to stop the chain of abuse, and children and dogs are on the bottom of that chain, right? That goes downhill, right? So, okay, so we're all in agreement on that. So Bullhorn Betty was on over all this controversy, and this was great. This tickled me out of my mind because Bullhorn Betty yells. I don't know if she means to yell, but she yells, and sometimes she comes off really angry, but she's an incredibly smart, intelligent woman, and you should be paying attention to her marketing skills, all of them. They set out with intention. They have a game plan. They are focused. They are driven, and they are following through with that. We don't have to agree with everything they do. We don't have to like everything they say. We can all form our own opinions. However, they're determined and they're diligent. And she screamed. Well, she yelled, sounded like screaming. She got big-eyed about the rules of YouTube, which was hysterical because she just sent everybody to the page of YouTube where it talks about copyright, so that she was educating. Then at the end of this rant, she said she's not a very good educator. And I thought that was, you just gotta like somebody that has a great sense of humor. I thought that was fantastic because she just went through, even though she was yelling, she was making her point with other YouTubers about what the rules are and what the law is and where you find that information. Apparently somebody took Olivia's, and everybody likes Olivia, right? Olivia, I discovered Olivia during the Gabby Petito. Apparently this team did too. She was a TikToker. She's not her. She's young. She's determined. She is doing her thing. with this team, and somebody took her content. Olivia makes beautiful videos. They're beautiful. I watched her go through the town of Hawkins when she's doing her like little documentary style thing. This girl's been working her trade, and she's just a baby. Wait till she gets to the other of her team members' age. She'll be so professional you won't be able to touch her. But and it is a lot of work. I do very, very short videos for Hands to Paws that are just a few minutes to create some give you an emotion of what's happening with us and the dogs and how much we love the dogs at Hands to Paws. And those, it took me years before I could do those very, very quickly. So hands down to Olivia. They are protecting their work. They are protecting the hours of work she went in. And even though Bullhorn Betty yelled all the rules of the copyright, and I've read the rules, what you discover, it's like anything else. You can read about it until you're actually participating, right? Until you have hands on, you don't totally understand the rules. However, I do understand this. You don't ever take somebody else's work. You always give somebody credit. Back in the day, we called it plagiarism. So you always give credit where credit is due. That's just good manners, guys. It's just good manners. And appreciate the work. I'm a YouTuber, and I have the ability to bring you a lot of things live because I work with the dogs, and right dogs would be outside, but I don't have the ability to do what these people are doing. They're going out and they're protesting. They're calling people out. They're calling people to accountability. And they have that's what these platforms are here for. Okay. So again, I follow Think Media and I stream off of StreamYard, and I'm learning the YouTube lingo. We are absolutely developing our own vocabulary list to be able to educate everybody on the vernacular, the lingo, the culture of YouTube, so that you too can be successful. You don't have to worry about competition. People will follow you because something about you resonates with them. Okay. And apparently there's subs. Subs don't belong to anybody. I don't even like the word sub. It sounds like subservient. Sub. It sounds like below. So I know that's the correct lingo, but I like followers, participants, community, an arena where people can actually give their honest opinions, that they have a forum to have a voice. So they don't belong to people. Okay. So because YouTubers talk about stealing people all the time. You can't steal, guys, what's not yours. All right. And if there's a new YouTuber and new to the platform, it's very entertaining, and it is absolutely bringing focus on Summer Wells, no matter in which direction that is, as long as the goal gets out there and there is spotlights on missing children, missing people, on trafficking, on the issues that need to be brought to the forefront, on who's on the bottom of what chain, then we all need to be talking. So I just want to say that. I don't want any YouTubers coming for me, boy. It may happen. I'm outspoken too. So almost 7 months ago, Summer had a puppy. And there is controversy whether the puppy was even the puppy Lucky that was on the live last night. I'm going to take Candace's word at faith that that was the puppy. I had spoken once before. They had done an original interview when Summer first went missing. And unfortunately, the very first part of that interview was taken out. And that was Candace, who was Summer Wells' mom, snuggling that puppy. And you can see, we know that dogs help reduce the cortisol, which is your stress hormone, and increase feel-good hormones in your brain. And that is why it is so good and healthy to have a dog. So they had cut that very first segment where it actually showed Candace being soft. And listen, I'm not on anybody's side. I'm on the side of the truth. Okay. So I'll do my speculation and my opinions, but I am absolutely on the side of the truth. And the when a child goes missing, the parents are under a spotlight, period. I mean, it is, there's nothing more damaging to a human spirit than losing a child. So at the end of the day, I would never want to wish that a parent did anything to their child. And if they did abuse children, my sister Nicole comes on all the time, and we remind everybody that children of abuse want their parents. They will lie, they will do anything they can to protect their parents because they love them. It's part of this syndrome. And dogs are forgiveness walking on four. I'm going to say it again. Dogs are forgiveness walking on four. They teach us what forgiveness looks like. So it doesn't mean I like what has happened here, okay? That's just not what I'm saying. So, and it doesn't, if something happened with the Wells and they did something horrific, they need to be held accountable. But there are moments where you can see there are genuine feelings. And this beginning of that segment was one of them. And a lot of dogs get dropped off on these properties because Candace wants to do the rescue, because no matter what anybody has to say or how horrific this is, she is absolutely a product of DV. And this is the signal, guys. If you are ever in trouble and you want to teach your children, your school teachers, your police officers, your firemen, kindergarten teachers, first grade teachers, second, third, all the way to college, no matter where you are, this is a signal to give if you are in distress. You want to practice it because it's muscle memory. When you go into fight or flight, you will not remember how to do things. Hey, Adrian. Hey. It's awesome. I do have a link up in my comments if you would like to come on. Hey, David. The dog's name is, now the dog's name's Yucky, but it started off as Lucky, and then Summer couldn't say it. And I have to look up where I got that information. It's the same person that did the video with the beginning of Candace, where she's actually cuddling the puppy. And I want to tell you, even in that video, and David, I'll find it. Even if when I find it, she's the one that's that puppy. I want to tell you that puppy was black and white, which is why I think the tubers are having controversy over if this dog is actually Yucky. So, and yeah, everybody's calling Lucky's name is Yucky. And the reason I do that, David, is because when you're 5 and you haven't gotten all your words, or you're having, maybe she had a little bit of a speech impediment, Lucky turned into Yucky, which is exactly what a baby child would do. And I'm trying to bring that emotion home, so that when you think of the child saying this dog's name, you get that sense of a giggle. Then when children, like they say fork, it doesn't come out fork. So that's why I purposely say it that way. It's for an emotional reaction. But I will, David, I probably won't have to do it today. I have 2 things I want to do for lives coming up. One is to re-go through Jody Sue's live the other night, where she speaks very much about the dogs. And Jody Sue was a neighbor, if anybody doesn't know who Jody Sue is. And I also want to bring up, find that video where she speaks about Lucky turning into Yucky and the beginning of that film, because that we want to see if that puppy is the same puppy, because we don't know what's truth or not. We won't know until the facts of the case come out from the TBI, the FBI, the Hawkins County Sheriff Department. We won't have any of that information until all the actual evidence is out, and then it'll go through their attorneys, and then their attorneys will try to dummy down things. But Candace and Dawn are definitely talking. And Candace got on there last night when she said that was Yucky. And she was very loving with Yucky, which is good. And Yucky was in the house. Now, Yucky was in the house because there is a litter of 7 puppies. So if you want to donate on behalf of Summer Wells, Hands to Paws, Claudia, and What's Up Dog is asking you to call the Hawkins County Humane Society and donate money to help them neuter and spay and rehome any dogs that Candace and Dawn are willing to bring there. So again, it's the Hawkins County Humane Society. There are 7. If you are a Summer Wells awareness fan, there are 7 of Yucky's puppies. Does anybody want a summer puppy? Anybody want a Yucky puppy? Not that I know Candace is giving him up. However, all these dogs most of these dogs on this property are related. And we had discussed 7 months ago, there were 20 plus dogs. There would have been, and Jody Sue does do that on a live, how many puppies she knew of that had happened in between. And last night on the live, there is a litter of 7 brand new puppies, which Candace holds. She snuggles, she cuddles. You can see it's calming her down. You can see all the effects of what is happening with her. And the puppy that she was showing, his name was Dallas. So that was little baby Dallas. And little baby Dallas is Justin. She did have the pen right in the house because she went to put Dallas back in the pen. And the pen looked clean. The area looked clean. It looked like they were having a calm thing. Here's the punchline, guys. Michelle of Michelle Walks, Michelle of Michelle After Dark, did a video right away because you don't think Michelle missed any of that, do you? No, she didn't. Because I'm not really a true crimer, right? I'm truly a dog behavioralist. I was watching diligently the reaction and the interaction between Candace and the dogs. Okay? That's my perception, my level of awareness. That's when my eyes perk up and I become hyper vigilant to what's happening there. However, Michelle from Michelle Walks, she went directly to the timeline. So because I spend every morning with Michelle, I stay right up to date with whatever Michelle is saying. Chris McDonough too. I always listen to Chris McDonough and True Crime Exposed. And I adore Grizzly True Crimes. I adore. She hasn't been doing as much on this case. And it might just simply be because her and Tyler Ferry and a couple other YouTubers who I follow diligently, they don't want to be involved in any of the drama. They just don't want to be. I'm going to give you one more thing before I go to what Michelle said. I jumped on Dawn's live the other night where Benny was on too. Like I said, the only thing I'd ever heard about, I didn't pay attention to Benny. Apparently he's a neighbor. I haven't paid much attention to him at all. However, I jumped on Dawn's live with him the other night and it's very easy to get into a little turbulence here with these YouTubers. My question was, Dawn, where are the dogs? Where did the dogs go, Dawn? When you got home, why did the dogs disappear? And a person in the chat asked me why I would ask such a silly question. They didn't say it as nicely as that. And I said, because they're his dogs and he would know. Nobody answered my question, by the way. So Michelle caught the timeline. Benny asked, he's trying to defend the Wells. He's definitely, I think he might even be on the mountain, but correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not a true crimer. He was definitely trying to defend, right? They're out on a mission to discredit Jody Sue, just out on a mission, right? It's going to get snarly. They may be trying to create another narrative. I'm not quite sure what all the whys are or the reasons are for them. I would think I think they should have an attorney. And if they did have any kind of decent attorney, he would ask them to zip it. So apparently they're not getting the best legal advice. However, Benny asked a question. I'm not sure, Benny, you're doing the Wells any favors. I don't know you. I don't know what your motivations are. I don't know even really how you're involved. If you on that mountain, did they talk to you? I don't know a lot of these answers to these questions. But you asked Candace about a timeline. I didn't catch it. I was interested in Yucky and Yucky's puppies and the little puppy Dallas being shown live with Candace. That's what I was interested in. But you asked about a timeline. I didn't catch it, but Michelle from Michelle Walks does. And she said it doesn't match the timeline, guys. They gave a different timeline. So you go to Michelle Walks, and go check out where they went wrong with the timeline. By the way, any YouTubers, when you're doing this, somebody told me, and I don't know if this is true or not, but there isn't anybody speaking about this case that the authorities don't look into and see what they're talking about. Because as Chris McDonough would say, with this situation and the information that is so freely being shared, it is a gift that keeps giving. And you would think an attorney would give them some better advice, Benny. So Michelle and Michelle Walks. So that was my big aha, which is why I wanted to jump on. We have had some passings of family members in our salon. So prayers to Hands to Paws and the teams at Hands to Paws. And if you are a customer at Hands to Paws and we've had to reschedule you, we apologize. We thank you for your understanding in some of our team members' times of need. That will be fixed very shortly. And I hope everybody is having an amazing new year. We have lots to talk about tonight. I will be on tonight. I am sure. Hey, guys. Hey, Ren, Adrian. Oh, wow. I just made that a whole bunch of me's. I don't even know how I did that. Oh, hello. I wish I could say your name. Geronimo? Bernard. Welcome. I'm sorry we're going to be getting off right now, but I do have to get to go work with the dogs. I did want to bring you the update. We will be back at 9 o'clock tonight. I can't wait to see what the rest of the YouTubers have to say about Candace and Dawn's lives with Benny. But let me just give you a recap. Yucky, who was originally named Lucky, but little Miss Summer Wells at 5 couldn't say that, so she said Yucky, who is now definitely Yucky. I'm going to have a Hands to Paws character made in Yucky's and Summer's honor, because they're our official awareness team for the bottom of the abuse chain, right? Children, dogs. Signal if you're in trouble. Signal if you're in trouble. And she showed Yucky on camera, and Yucky has a litter of 7 puppies. Right now, we're asking you to donate to the Hawkins County Humane Society so they can continue in the help for Dawn and Candace to neuter and spay, make sure dogs have vaccinations and are wormed and may need placement. And the other big news was, I didn't catch this, I'm focused in on dogs, is Michelle from Michelle Walks said, listen to the timeline change. There is a timeline change. So please go watch that segment from her. I am off. Who's from LA, David? Is Benny from LA? Does Benny have been in prison? Because he's got black and white sleeves. And I always hear everybody yelling felon, but, you know, so I'm going to be of the thing that, yes, the most relevant to future behavior is recent past behavior. However, there are felons that turn their lives around. They need to get up there and speak on the success stories of people. So, you know, I don't know if that means anything, what his history is, but he does have, and, you know, everybody with dark sleeves, I know they like tribal tattoos, and people think that's really cool. It just happens to be that prison tattoos are usually black, and he has a full sleeve. So just curious if, and I know people have screamed felon, so I don't know if he is or he isn't. He's starting to put himself out there supporting. I don't even know if he's been investigated. if he is there, if he wasn't there. Benny, the first thing I heard about Benny was Chris McDonough telling him about himself. So if you're a YouTuber and you're following Chris McDonough and he told you about yourself, so, however, it's America. And we're glad to be here. We will be back on at 9. We'll see what everybody else has to say about this timeline and the dogs. Thanks, everybody, for talking dog. Keep it up. I am hearing all the tubers really start to bring those dogs into the mix. And if they're doing that, then they're doing something right. And remember, you're not really a success. You know, people go into the entertainment industry and YouTubers are entertaining. That's why we watch them. When you go into the entertainment business, one of the first things they tell you about, as long as they're talking about you, you're doing something right. So when you're bashing or not bashing these other people, remember, you're just keeping their name out there. So you're doing them a favor, basically, is what I'm trying to tell you. So good luck. I'm going to go to the dogs. I have to go to the dogs. Bye, guys. I'll see you tonight at 9 o'clock. Have an awesome day. Oh, hold on. Benny is from Phoenix. Okay. Okay. Or maybe we're getting controversy about where Benny's from. All right. David, we got to find out where Benny's from. We'll come back to this. We'll come back to this at 9 o'clock after a full day with the dogs. It's always refreshing.